I had to make sure
Howdy.
my hair was okay.
Yeah. Me and Stay didn't have time to do her hair and makeup tonight, so you get what you get.
Oh, that's funny.
Welcome to the Monster Rod Holder Power Hour.
You got it.
Yep, I'm Pontoon Jodi, and this is.
Two stands, and this is going to be a great show. I can tell already.
Uh, there is a cat on the boat, so there's a cat,
Hey, it's
two
now a
of them.
cat
So
show. It sure
technically,
is.
it's a catfish show.
There you go.
But I'm going to show off my boat tonight and my setup.
I think that's a great idea, Jody.
Yeah, and I thought I've never had this. About the first time my boat's been home, so I'm going to work on it this week and get it set up exactly the way I like it, or trying to. And but I've already messed with them rod holders back there, them multi bars, and I can't tighten them back up good. I must not have. I get confused which way's tight, which way's untight.
If you're if you're looking at it to the right, turning it like a clock is
Yeah.
tightening it, and turning it
Okay.
like backwards of a clock is loosening it.
Does it matter? Is it either side the same way?
Well, sort of, because yeah, if you're facing it, like if you're facing it,
Yeah.
it's this way. So if it's on the back side of it, so like if you've got the nut and the nut over here and the bolts in front of you, the one that you're facing is going to go clockwise, and the one back here is going to go counterclockwise. And
Like I'm at
but
12 going to 2.
yep, that'll tighten it.
Okay. I struggle with that.
But if you're reaching around and doing it from the other side,
Yeah.
that's the one that then you got to turn it like away, like the backwards clock.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
It does. Let's say hello to people. We got half century catfishing in first.
Oh, 50 Cent.
Catfish Cowboy says howdy everyone. Kentucky Catfish Chris.
Ooh.
Brokeback Bob, I have you running for the watch hours. Appreciate it. Then we got Joshua Perham. Say what's up. Burrito Catfish and Lisa. Howdy.
What's up, Lisa?
Ed Jenkins says hi to Jody. Jerry Hager, 419. Fishing and powder coating. Good afternoon, y'all, from Nebraska. Well, thanks for coming in,
Oh,
Jerry.
powder coating. I bet he makes some jigs.
He might, mightn't he? Well, I bet he might like powder coat them things like multi bars, stuff
Oh,
like
there you
that.
go. That too. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. We're fishermen. You always think of jigs, powder coat. No, I got to powder coat my jigs. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
bet you're right. I bet you're right.
Then we got Moon over Miami says hello, everybody, and Jody. Hey,
Hey,
Moon.
what's up, Moon?
And Crappy Day Darren says hello, great people.
Crappy day.
Wabash Nate and Catch Fish with us. Troy from Real and Virtual Outdoors. Mullet Man number 7. NCMO Outdoors, how you doing?
Yo, yo, yo.
It's Greenwell. Fishing says untight. That kind of like loose. Yeah. 922 Crappie Barbecue and the tidy, righty, tidy, lefty, loosey.
Yep, that's the other one. Yeah,
Lance McCouga says hello, everyone.
I'm tight. Well.
There's Rhonda says, Jody, the rule of thumb is righty, tidy, lefty, loosey. Hope everyone is doing well. And we got Bob and Doreen Fishing says, good evening, everybody. John Boy's Catfishing says, howdy. Mac, how you doing tonight?
What's up?
Smoky Mountain Catfishing, howdy. Fishing for Whiskers, hello. Muskrat Adventure says, howdy. Shirley T, how you doing? January Sports Highlights says hi to everybody. Happy Tuesday. There's Jose.
Jose, how's it going?
Yeah. And we're
Awesome,
down at the bottom.
awesome
29
crowd.
people in. Appreciate it.
Awesome crowd, Jody. Always get a great chat watching this show. That's awesome.
Hey, Stonefly. So deuces Stan.
Deuces Stonefly.
So I guess I'll start off with the front of my boat.
And Jody, if you want to put it on full screen so they can see the boat better, feel
Okay.
free.
Hmm.
Feel free.
Well, let me
Since I
do
didn't,
the.
since I didn't do my makeup, at least the boat will
I
look
don't
great.
want layout. I want. No, I don't want that. I want some more settings. Camera back. There you go. Okay.
There we go. Whoa.
Yep. There's my trolling motor. I have to it's not self deployed. So James put me a rope on it where I can stand back here and pull on it, pull it up and down. That helped out a lot. So I have to come all the way
Yeah.
up there with the Minn Kota. And then he also put me them lights on to see by.
There you go.
That's my driving lights. And I had a company called Better Boat send me some ropes. This is actually an anchor rope, but I use it to launch with. And I just keep it permanently tied to that cleat with that clamp. And then I throw it off the front, tie it to my trailer, and launch. I just keep it laid out because I use it a lot. And it came with a couple compartments. That's supposed to be a seat right there if I took it off. I got my extra rope and paddles and flotation device and anchor and stuff in there. And this one's full of crap.
There
I gotta clean it out. Life jacket, planer boards,
you go.
sheets, bug spray, you name it.
And Jody, as anybody pops up a question, I'll let you know. We had a double hook angling came in, and Joshua asked if you got another boat.
Hmm. I still got my pontoon over there.
Yep, she got the
Does
pontoon.
anybody need any cats? That one's a stump tail, and that one's a ringtail, whatever. But they're. I thought I wanted cats, porch cats, but I don't. I'm not home enough to fool with them. And so that's the front of the boat. I don't do much up here. Of course, they sent me these, and I'm only showing these ropes because I did get them free, but I'm going to buy the matching set to go on the other side. That's how much I like them.
And what was the name of it again, Jody?
Better boats. They're
Better
bungee
boat.
ropes,
Oh, look at that! Yeah,
and they got these already on the end, and you slide it up to make it tight.
yeah,
And this is the 7-foot one. When I pull up to the dock, I just pull that over a cleat.
yep. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna buy some just like it to go on the other side.
There's Cool Cats is out there. What's up, James?
Hey James. And it does have. This is the only seat that's on it I left. That's in front of the console, and it has a live well down in it, a small one I don't use. I do use like this to climb on and tie things off with on the dock. I'm gonna put another monster rod holder on that side to help. And sometimes I don't get it on the trailer just right, and I have to move it little, so I hold on to them rod holders. It does have a bimini. James helped me make this contraption. It's a PVC pipe, and I use it to hold my phone
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
because I use a selfie stick. It's got cup holders on it, and I just put this little other one there. I've got some white strips I'm gonna put on it, zip ties. I just got them this weekend, and I just put a selfie stick down in it, And then if I want to like move around, I just pull the selfie stick out. I'm not having to hold a phone.
It's a great idea.
And
Oh, let's see, Jody. We had Ashley Brady come in. I think I said double hook. Lance McCool guy. Jeremy TRC. I think that's
hey,
like
Jeremy.
RC cars.
Mm-hmm. How you
Joshua
doing
Parham
tonight?
said you may want to put a gallon of gas on your boat, Jody.
Yeah.
Bob and Dorian came in. Welcome, welcome. Great seeing them. Okay.
They got a touchscreen Lowrance sonar. It's got the down scan and all that on it.
Bobcat, Nubby's out there. Muskrat saying nice.
Mm-hmm. And I got all these knobs. I don't know what they're for. That says lights, nav, bilge main. And it's an auto bilge. Aerator, a horn, a washdown, which I don't have, a Max Air 1, a Max Air 2, court lights. I wonder what those are. You think that's the lights to the live well? Because they
What
do
is
have lights in them.
says court light? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody else know out there?
And then
What's up,
ACY,
Grace?
ACY. And then I don't know what these are. These reset buttons or just knobs?
Those
It
are
goes
it
about
might
38
be
miles an hour.
those might be like inline fuse or something.
Okay.
Like a breaker type deal.
Yeah.
Grace, family's out there. What's up, Grace? Great to see you.
Hey,
Donald's out
Grace.
there. 205. Great to see you. So it looks
So,
like plenty of room up in the front, Jody.
yeah, I really, like I said, don't. If there's something like, I'll put extra clothes or something here in a cooler in that corner.
Yep, but if you had extra people fishing in the boat,
Mm-hmm.
they could sit right there. That looks pretty. I like sitting in spots like that because it's taller.
Yeah, like I'll sit right here on this and watch the rods.
Yep. Yeah, that's perfect because then you can get right up from it. You're not like,
Yeah.
you know me. You've seen me sunk back in a chair and trying to get my big booty up out of a chair. It does not work.
And I always keep this side clean because that's the side I travel
That's a
up
good
and down the
point.
boat to the trolling motor. I don't put anything on this side whatsoever. It did have rod holders on the side, and I took them off. And I don't put anything over here. I don't put nothing in them holders because that's what I hold on to right here. And I don't want to accidentally grab a fishing rod to hold on to when a wave hits.
There you
I want to
go.
make sure I got something sturdy. It's got one of them things on it.
Oh, they're
But
nice. Used to be able to put them in a car. That was really nice.
yeah, it used to have this big seat right here that went all, where those bolts all the way
Yep.
across, and that cooler went under it. But I had trouble getting around it.
Getting
And I
past it.
thought,
Yeah.
I'm eventually going to fall backwards off the boat. You only got that small of a space.
Yeah.
So I just took it out and eliminated the risk.
I don't blame you because that's what that's the Carolina skiff can be used for multiple purposes, multiple different
Mm-hmm.
things. And what you're using it for, you've made the best decision you could have. Oh, clearing up, you need space whenever you're
Mm-hmm.
catfishing, especially with those monsters that Jody catches.
Well,
And
you got the big rod and the big net, and you do need the room. And when I had
absolutely.
that chair back there, I didn't have enough room.
We did get a question. Catfish Cowboy was asking. That's the other Dustin that fishes here on the
Mm-hmm.
James River with us. He was asking, "What's the biggest fish on the new boat so far, Jody?"
I think I got a 43 on it.
There you go.
I know I got a 38, but I think I've got a 43.
Just a few of many, many more to come, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not used to making
Benoit's
a
out there.
step because we know I had a pontoon. So I got that little step to help me up where I felt more comfortable.
No, God bless you, because I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't even be able to do the step and then the step. So you got me beat, Jody.
I'm not comfortable stepping up and not being able to hold on to something. So I'd like
Yeah,
to rig something right here onto this where it goes straight down and up where I could hold on to it getting off the boat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It go up about,
Shane says all
two,
her
3 foot.
fish.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just a matter of something to put your hand on just for balance.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to
Uh,
that
but
railing and it,
Jody's, I mean, yep. Oh, that's right, on the pontoon. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's usually deck high. Where now I'm having to climb in and out this high, or climb up, step up there, then onto the deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that moves. It don't sit still.
And James said that all of Jody's big fish have come on his boat.
My 263 pounders have. That's the gas and my light for back there. 12-gallon multi bars with the rod holders, and then I got for a down
There
rod.
they are.
I may switch that to the other rod though, but I hold on to that one a lot getting in and out. So I don't know if I will or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I tie off to the docks a lot with these. And this is a live well full of junk.
There you
But
go.
they got a rod holder, and that's not junk, but
Especially because that is the monster rod holder right there. There
get
you
off,
go.
kitten. Yeah, them's really heavy duty. You don't realize how strong and heavy they are until you put one in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got the 90 Suzuki on the back.
And
So
there you
it
go.
gets
How
me where
fast does that normally go with just say like you in the boat?
it'll go 38, but I don't go that fast. I
Nice.
go,
Yeah, yeah.
James put,
It's good to know that if you have to, though, that it could do that. Yeah.
he put that whale tail on it so I don't have to go that fast to get it to plane.
Right.
So that helped me out a
Yep.
lot.
Yep.
But that's pretty much the boat. I usually sit on one of those two coolers. If you want to go fishing with me and you don't want to sit on a cooler, you have to bring a chair. If I want to lay down and relax,
Well, there's
well, I'll
plenty
lay
of
down on
room.
the floor and sleep. I mean, I got plenty of room up there. But
Yep.
if I want to relax and just lounge around, that's what the pontoon's for. This is a fishing boat. That's the reason I got it. I wanted something I could compete in. And so far, it's really helped a lot. I can tell a big difference since I've got it in the tournaments.
Well, Jody, for it helps you. You're able to anchor off and stuff better, right? Maneuver, get to the spots quicker.
Well, I can get to the spots quicker. I don't have to anchor no more because I got spot lock.
There you go.
And by the time I took the pontoon over there, I'd find the fish, but by the time I dropped anchor and I was off the fish. And sometimes I'd have both of them out, and you don't feel like lifting that up 3-4 times trying to get in the spot.
Yep. And then the pontoon is such a big. If there's any kind of wind at all, that pontoon just
Hmm.
catches all the wind.
Yeah. So
Absolutely, I agree. Let's see.
I'm really happy with it.
Joshua's gotten another good question. Do you have a snack cubby for your little Debbie Christmas tree cakes and such?
I did have one, but somebody gained some weight this week, last 2 weeks. So I'm going on a little Debbie fast again. I'm going on a low carb.
There you go.
Uh, I was like, holy crap. But I have to eat to stay awake, like at work and while I'm driving. So that makes it hard.
So let's
I just
see.
I just have to eat pork rinds, I guess. Yeah.
Chat, is that my audio that's messing up?
I'm outside and I'm in the woods, so it could be me. I have, I'm in the boonies. I'm on Wi-Fi right now. But I got to get with
Yep, they're
Steve.
saying it's mine. I'll be right back, Jody. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna reboot my phone and
All right. I got to get with Steve. He told me when he
I'll reboot
sponsored
my
me.
phone. I'll be right back.
Okay. That he would just tell him what I wanted. I hadn't asked him for anything yet, but I'm ready for some nets and a couple hats and some stickers. And whenever he gets his rods in, I want some of those. Color a couple rods into that pool. It's full of I could have a good run-in for hooks and hammocks with a pool pond, but it's full of frogs. If I wasn't planning on moving next year and selling my house, I would have put some fish in it, but it ain't worth it. I'll have to clean it out before I put it up for sale. I just didn't want to fool with it this year because it is expensive and time consuming to keep a pool going that you don't use. This is the first year I never opened it. I've had it 20 years. Never put a liner in it or anything. All original. But I would, if anybody is looking for a kitten, I do have two. They say, take me. The white one reached up and bit me the other day, and I don't like it no more because I didn't pat it as quickly as it wanted me to. I finally made me a logo, and I look forward to a couple stickers in a few weeks. Awesome. Hey, Donald Long, how you doing? Hey, Shirley T. Your wife is watching. This one, now, of course, when I want it to come, it won't. It takes off. But that white one's a boy cat, and it is really pretty. I don't know what this one is. Are you girl or boy? I think it's a girl cat. But I know the other one's a boy for sure. They won't leave me alone. I should have fed them first. Hey, 205, Jonathan, how you doing? Looks like bait to you. No way. I couldn't do that. I mean, I don't want them, but I don't want nothing to happen to them. Oh, I guess I can tell you a little bit. Oh, there's Stan. He may have been there that whole time and I didn't notice because I was too busy playing with the kittens. Nope, I didn't add them. Add.
No, I just got back in perfect timing.
There we go. Yep. My boy's cats come in 4-wheeler, but after next Thursday, he will be 2-wheel drive. Ooh. He must be getting them fixed. I don't know. These cats are probably 4 or 5 months old. Get over here.
There's double hook angling out there. Y'all make sure check out if you have not yet, Friday mornings, you're looking for something to do on Friday mornings. Check out
He's a pretty cat.
double
I just
hook.
don't want him.
Oh yeah, look at the ringtail. Yeah.
Yeah. And his eyes are really blue. Look out. Be a
Deadpool's out
star.
there. Welcome
You could
in,
get your big
Deadpool.
break right there. Hey,
Meow.
Deadpool. Meow.
I think
That's
he was.
right.
I saw her, him or her. You know, they were being the cute look, blinking the eyes, and trying to. Does
Mm-hmm.
somebody want me?
Yeah.
Great to see everybody. So Jody, this weekend we have the monster hunt. I know
Mm-hmm.
you've been doing pretty well on some big fish. Are you excited for this one coming up?
Yeah, but there's so much pressure on it because it's one fish and it has to be a big one. And I wait all year long for this one.
Yeah.
It's my favorite tournament of the whole year. And because it's a monster fish, but I've never won it. Sometimes, one time I didn't even do good, but I don't know. You just never know about the bite that night. I have spots with the fish, and I made sure I got good bait,
Yep.
and you just never know if you can make them bite or not.
Yep. Yeah. I mean that just happened this past week. I went out. I think it was last Wednesday with Catfish Cowboy, and he got his PB Blue Cat. He's on that journey now. He
Hmm.
started out using night crawlers and shrimp and regular rods and stuff, and uh, now he's got some bigger hooks. Bigger. He got an FOA rod. Uh,
Hmm.
he got a never lost anchor. He's been doing building up where he can, and
Yeah.
he got his TB 33-pound blue cat this past week. But we had several big nice takedowns and stuff. So then Austin and I went out Saturday, and we're like, oh yeah, the bait. We found bait. We did all this stuff. Everything should have been perfect, and we couldn't even catch a 2-pound blue cat.
Mm.
And it's just
Yep.
I don't know. But we know the fish were there. We got them in the net. We caught them in the cast net. We caught them in the
Hmm.
gill net. There was all kinds of catfish there, and couldn't buy a bite even.
Yep. It
Uh,
was hard for me to find fish this Friday night. I knew that one spot was good for two fish. So when we caught the two, I was ready to go. But went where the shad usually is. The shad wasn't even there. And the fish are where the shad's at. If you've got a million shad in the water, the fish, they're not necessarily feeding on that threadfin shad. They're feeding on what's feeding on the threadfin shad.
yeah,
The white bass and the crappie and the bluegill and all that down there. That's what they're down there getting.
good
They're not
point.
really caring about that threadfin shad.
Good point. Yeah, especially the bigger ones that we're after.
Hmm.
Double Hook
Yeah.
said he took Gregory catfish today. They didn't catch any, but Gregory did catch two bluegill and a bass. So that's a
There you
good thing.
go. Hmm.
You know what? Any day you can go out there. Any day you can go out there with your family or friends. I know Jody, it was awesome watching. It was awesome watching you and your daughter. Speaking
Hmm.
of speaking of daughters, I mean sons. Oh, you
Hey,
got to do it.
Kevin.
You got to do it. What did he say, Jody? Make sure you bring an extra
And
towel to wipe.
wipe your
Woo!
tears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, stand three and Jody. I like the fact I just got to stay. I just stay away from it. Let the two of them go at each other and have fun. And
Poor little Stan 3. Just bring you a cushion to sit on the ride home from that spanking I give you. Because I'm going to give you a beating worse than your mama ever did. That's my favorite saying to him. Hey, Rowdy. uh,
Oh, it's been awesome. What did he say?
oh, wow. That was actually a good one. I forgot you didn't have two pairs of glasses on. You can't read that fast. But
Yeah,
that was
well,
just one
I
pair.
can't find my other glasses. I can't find my other glasses.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool this past stand day. But
Hmm.
Dog and Die, Dagundai, Curtis
Yeah.
Cunningham. He said he was going to try to come up on your show Friday night, Jody, but he by the time he got uh but it was 1 a.m. by the time he got on the water. It was
Hmm.
awesome seeing him. He fished stand day this
Stand
past
day.
Sunday. And I know you're like I am. We both love having the people that are in chat and not really,
Hmm.
and then they come up and do their fishing lives for like the first times. And
Yeah,
that's just awesome.
it is. You're glad to see people growing.
Absolutely. I love it. I
Hmm.
love it. And he did a great job. Curtis caught like 8 fish, I think, this past
Hmm.
stand day. So he did awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been watching his lives. He's been doing really well, and he does a good live. I like the sound of his voice, and he just he carries
absolutely.
himself well on the live.
Absolutely. I agree.
Hmm.
Fishing with Jeff Beals out there. Jeff was going to do another DIY, not your normal DIY, but I think going to wait till next year with all the stuff going on.
Usually, behind those trees is a field, and past that field is a creek. And I used to catch bluegills, and I call them red eyes over there for bait, but it's just too many varmints now. It ain't safe to go. The hogs have took over.
Hogs?
The wild hogs.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm afraid
You know,
what it is it's a bridge that's sunk twice. So you can't really drive across it, but you can walk across it. It's concrete.
uh-huh.
So everything crosses that bridge. And
Oh
I'll be
wow.
on there fishing on that bridge, and then a big old herd of cat or pigs come along, and there I'll be stuck.
Oh man. Well
And I don't know if
shoot,
they
I'm
go
gonna
in the water on you or not.
we'll have to get a Tennessee license and come down there and do some hog hunting.
Yeah. TWRA put some traps. I used to have a trap over there, and I had a flag on it. So when they would trigger it, the flag would go up in the air. And I did get one of them, but you're not allowed to release them once they're in that cage. And I didn't like dispatching it that way. And I never did catch another one.
uh yes, there you go. Stan's reset. I'll come solve that problem for you, Jody. Absolutely. We'll bring some bows. We'll do some bow hunting. You
Hmm.
ever do? I know that you've fished and stuff. Have you hunted, Jody? Are you a hunter? Or?
Very little have I hunted. When I was younger, I did some bow hunting, but it wasn't like it was a regular bow and arrow. It wasn't that power stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just don't believe in killing something you ain't gonna eat.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, don't
You
worry. I'd
know?
eat the boar. I'd eat the boar. we'll
Yeah.
butcher. We'll butcher the boar. We'll get some bacon. We'll send some out to Uncle
Hmm.
Jeep. Some bacon. We'll send some to Mark.
Yeah. I just I've never have
Yeah.
been a good cook, and like the hog, I had it butchered. It didn't taste. I never could get the game taste out of it,
Uh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
just
there's a lot of things with hog, like bleeding catfish. The
yeah.
quicker you can get the hog bled and the stuff out, and
Hmm.
they have a lot of. That's why pigs in general they have a lot of smell. They've got a lot of glands, and if you
Yeah.
don't get the glands removed right away, and
Hmm.
if they bop open and that gets in the meat, that can really add that taste. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do for that. But yeah,
Mostly the
that's
things I've gotten rid of have been nuisance animals, like killing my chickens or things like
yeah.
that. I know I
There
had a
you.
raccoon and it was killing my chickens, and I went in to gather the eggs, and it was hidden in a nest, waiting for me to lock the chickens back up with it.
You're kidding.
So
They are.
I went and got my pow pow, and I was, it was in the back of the chicken house, and I was standing in front of the door, and I started to, do that, and I thought, well, I'm gonna be gangster and turn it sideways. I blowed a hole that big in the side of the chicken coop and I missed them. And then I got to thinking, you're standing in front of this door, the only way out for that raccoon. You ain't gonna be able to miss again and it not come after you. And I walked out. I didn't even try again after that. But
Yeah, you
usually
got.
possums or something like that would catch in the pen. Like that was killing
Those
stuff.
possums are. Everybody thinks, oh, cute little pop. No, those are some vicious. They got them teeth like that. They are vicious, especially if
Mm-hmm.
they will take your chickens. Those
Yeah.
possums, you get your chickens, your eggs. They
Mm-hmm.
are. They're no joke. They play the dead thing, but that's because they're only waiting to get you. I,
Yeah.
I don't got any love for possum. I'm sorry.
They're a
They just.
nasty animal. I mean, they serve their purpose. They scavenger.
Yep, yep.
You know, everything has its purpose.
Oh, Florida's even worse. Yeah, small water charters down there saying we have pigs running everywhere down there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
Last,
There you go. We'll open up some pig hunting and feed the
yeah,
hunk with the boar meat.
yeah. Last time I went on vacation down there, I was driving by and I seen this huge hog on the side of the road dead. I turned around and looked back at it. I never saw one that big before. You know?
Let's see. Double hook angler said my son Tim has shot 5 wild hogs in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's Lisa. We have that.
These monster rod holders coming out with new monster rods. That was in the works, but I don't know. everybody's having to hold up on getting their rods in, though. You know,
I
so
have fished one of Stan Three's friends. I was fishing with the four of us went, and they had the boat. So Stan, they wanted to catch some fish. So Stan Three went on one boat. I went on the other boat, and the boat that I was on, the dude did have some monster rod holder rods. Some of the original. They
that
were,
Tony had.
yeah, that Tony had.
Hmm.
Yes, Jody,
Hmm.
yes, and they were awesome. Speaking of
I,
Tony, that great show with Tony. That
yeah,
was awesome.
Tony's a blast. You can't beat Tony.
No, absolutely agree.
I went on the website and found them, and I'm like, yes. And then when we went to order them, it said sold out.
Uh,
The old ones.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and so Jody, I know you're a big supporter of Steve and
Hmm.
Monster Rod holders as well as I am. What's some of the well, we want to talk about Steve or the rod holders? I mean, a lot of the
Well,
companies
we
out
talk
there.
about Steve.
I know, I can't say enough good stuff. Welcomed me into like the Cat Con and
Hmm.
Catfish family, and hosting the cook off, and
Yeah.
I've seen him where he's got 5 hours of stuff to do, and we're running around CatCon trying to get something done, and somebody says, "Hey, Steve, can I take?" and just stops,
Hmm.
talks to them, takes the picture, uh, doesn't worry about this what he's got to get done right then and there. That person that's talking to him is the most important person in the world. So, uh, I know you've had some other fun experiences with Steve down there.
Hmm. Yeah, he came down and fished with us one time, and I took it. Well, I went on James's boat. He came and spent the night down there with James, and he he wanted to bait, but when he got there, he said he just wanted to watch, and I'm like, what? And he just said he just wanted to relax and watch us fish. So it was on a Friday night, so that's what he did, uh, and then I just did what I usually did, put the boat away and everything, and he said he was really impressed with me. So that felt good to hear that from him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
he's always been so nice. He's always been a supporter. He's always watched my show and come in and chat and stuff. And I mean, you just can't really. I mean, you can't beat him. I mean, he's a good role model. He knows what he's doing. He always tries to help people learn. He shares stuff, and he has great
absolutely.
products. I mean,
Yeah,
I've never.
yeah.
I got his monster rod holder up there that Brandon Fashizzle gave me. I've never had any of his products that I didn't like.
I definitely agree with that. In my opinion, and I've used a lot of them, but maybe I'm prejudiced towards monster rod holders because
Hmm.
personally know Steve, but
Hmm.
in my opinion, the best one of the best ones you can get out there. I love, that's what we have on our boat, and
Hmm.
Dustin's got that on his, and I've never ever one time seen any issue with a monster rod holder, not once.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I, I tie I tied off to a dam wall with them.
yeah.
There's always a little piece of rope someone's broke off way high, on the dam wall, and you can't tie onto it. So I got a big Charlie Brown hook and 100-pound leader line and tied to it and tied to my monster rod holder, and that's how I stayed anchored and was able to fish some last year with that pontoon. I finally straightened the hook out one day.
Really?
Hmm.
Smallwater Charter says he doesn't like armadillos. They're basically possums with helmets on.
Yeah, I seen. My daughter went to school in McKenzie, Tennessee, Bethel University, and that was about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. And I was driving down there and I seen one dead on the side of the road. Of course, I had to stop and look at it. I never saw one before. That's where everybody says I'm sheltered.
so,
I stop and look at a roadkill as part of my
so
vacation.
what you do on your vacation? Well, we went to South Tennessee. We saw an armadillo, so we pulled over. We watched that, and we went down the road a little bit. And there was this big hog that was out. So we pulled over and took a look at that.
A lot of people go look at balls of yarn and stuff. I'm going to.
And Jody, Jody's on the roadkill. The roadkill.
That
The
might be why my food tastes
roadkill
like
road trip.
roadkill.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't put the animal there though. It was, it was already there. I
Wabash
sent a
Nate
picture
said,
of this raccoon on Facebook, and it was roadkill, and somebody had put a get well soon balloon on it.
I saw the raccoons like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Wabash Nate said Freddie paid off customs to confiscate and hold off all the rod deliveries except for FOAs.
Yeah.
Catfish Cowboy is asking, what rods do you use right now, Jody?
Right now I'm using the monster. No, not monster. Mad Cat. It's the Signature Series 3 bolt, the medium heavy with the Mad Cat reel. I got 6 of them. That's what I'm currently using. I did just win 3 Uncle Lou rods, though.
That's right. You were the winner in the raffle, weren't you?
And I have one already in there. Pretty Ricky gave me. And I actually got a chunky rod that's Uncle Lou rod.
Customized by Chunky.
Yeah.
And there's a good idea. G Style says, catch a pig on a catfish rod. Give that
Yeah.
rod and reel a real workout. That'd be a real new definition for the word hog, right? It was a
Yeah.
hog. It really was a hog.
Mhm. I've been driving, 4-wheelers and side by sides, and they come out on us out of the bushes and chases. So they are aggressive.
Let's see. Call Me Santa Claus says, I'm in the process of rebuilding the pontoon and making a fishing boat out of it. I've settled on using monster rod holders around the boat. Well,
Cool.
that's a great choice. Jody, tell him your code so when he goes to get their monster rod holders, he can save a little bit of money there.
Jody 10. That saves you a little bit of money. And then I have a link, but I don't have it ready. If you click the link, it shows that I brought traffic to his website.
That's
That in
right.
turn helps people who's sponsored or affiliated by showing that you can bring traffic to the website. It don't really give us any money. It just shows that we're a good person for them to sponsor.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
clicking the link's free, and it does help out the person you're watching.
That's right. Yeah, with any of the businesses, and first and foremost, whenever because we spend a lot of time up here talking and doing lives and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, companies or friends or businesses that, we products that we use, so we try to help out, and we'll say, well, yeah, we'll take the code, because then that when we're talking about it, we can say, hey, by the way, here's a little money off. And so that's what the codes are. But main thing is, we want you to check out the companies. We believe in we believe in Steve. Monster Rod
Mhm.
Holders is a Monster Rod Holder Power Hour. I'm FOA. Stan 3 is using Mad Cats right now, because he's in a lot of the
Yep. For
trying to
the
win the
prize
week big
winning.
time. Yeah, and I know Jody Monster Mad Cats, because of that same reason.
Hmm.
Uh, so if we have a code, we use it ourselves, and that's the bottom line. So
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
I do recommend their anchor too, though. If you have a pontoon, it does hold the pontoon really well. I've had several anchors that didn't grip. And if you watch my lives, I was always losing anchor. And I'd have to reel my lines and pull back up and throw it back out. I didn't have to do that once I started using the monster. And it was a gift to me. I didn't buy it. For Shizzle gave it to me, and because I'd lost 2 anchors. I think I was using 3 concrete blocks at the time.
Yep.
And that's not fun pulling up because, them blocks get heavier when they're in water.
Yep. Yep.
And that's not fun pulling up all the way out of the water and then, 4 foot up over a playpen and bimini top.
Absolutely. And two stands. We are sponsored by Never Lost Anchors. They have a
Hmm.
booth at CatCon. I know Daniel and Steve are good friends and stuff. We use
Yeah.
Never Lost. Little bit different concept than Steve's anchor. It's got tied off. The chain is
Yeah.
zip tied off, and if you get stuck, you pop it and it pulls it back out. I know Steve's the monster rod holders have the fins at the bottom, and
Hmm.
if it gets really stuck, you just keep pulling, and that fin will bend out. But it's strong
Yeah.
enough that it'll hold you in current. It'll hold you in. Like I said, Jody was using it in uh,
I
uh,
I
big
used the
boats.
monster on the front and the Never Lost on the back because Brokeback Bob sent me a Never Lost,
There you
and
go.
that they held really good. The two combination like that, I didn't have no trouble once I started using them like that.
Yeah, yeah. But I agree. If it's fishing, catfishing, especially, is just coming in. Everybody used to think catfishing was you threw out some. You could throw out clothesline with a hook on it and
Yeah.
whatever, and your catch.
Hmm.
Now it's getting to the point where, all right, we're specializing in catfish stuff. There's the products
Yeah.
out there, and I guarantee you that. Yep. Will a cinder block and stuff work? Absolutely. Will a monster anchor or a never lost anchor work a heck of a lot better? And if you're fishing, a couple days a week, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a month, that's when that monster rock, that monster anchor, the never lost anchor, etc. That's when, to me, it becomes worth it.
Hmm.
Because it's when you deal with those concrete blocks or the rock, all that other stuff,
Yeah.
a
The
good anchor
Walmart
will.
anchors. I
Yep.
mean,
It'll.
I had those. They didn't hold. I probably lost 10 of them
Yep. Yep.
getting hung up. But the monster anchor, I have got hung up several times under the dam. I
Uh
don't
huh.
know if I just wasn't strong enough to pull it out, but I would start my motor and drive it out
Yep.
and pull it in, and I would straighten the tines out, and I've just been the tines back then.
Yep. So yeah, it's the same concept. There's just two different ways of doing it. The monster rod holders has wider tangs, and they bend out as you pull it, and then you put them back up. And the never lost, the chain pops off the top of it, so you pull it from the same
Mhm.
concept, just two different ways of doing it. Both great products. I would feel safe and love using either one. Both
Yeah.
great products, both great people, Daniel Rimmer
Mhm.
and Steve. So
My
absolutely.
trolling motors are 24 volt, and when I'm setting anchored or spot locked, I cut my sonar and everything off so my batteries last longer because I have the old ones. I don't have the lithiums. I was having trouble with dead battery when I first got it. The trolling motor would go dead, and then my boat wouldn't start. And James finally figured out how to change everything around and put an extra battery on it for just a starting motor, and it's not happened anymore since then.
There's River Rat 3030. What's up, my friend?
Hey, River Rat 3030.
Wow. So we are there you go. He's saying to Miss Jody, Queen of the Flatheads, and Stan, the Sturgeon King. So King and Queen, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. I think my sonar is still on with the trolling motor, but I don't need it on while if a fish goes under the boat, I'll know it when it hits the rod. Once I'm in my spot and I'm on my anchor and on the ledge, I just cut it off.
Are you talking about Roger's question with the battery, or Roger made a statement about the?
About the trolling motor and the sonar shouldn't be on the same one. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure mine is.
yeah. It's there's been issues with it because of the trolling motor. It can mess up the. If you have a lot of people
Hmm.
believe with the sonar or the fish finder electronics, whatever, that should be on their separate thing, because running the trolling motor, it has to do with the wave of the electric being used. It could throw
Yeah.
interference into the thing, yada yada. It's above my pay grade with that stuff, but
It does
that's
make
what.
a difference. I have a heavy rod here, and I like it too. Someone sent this to me. It's a Patriot rod. It's the first one I had, and it's. I really. I mean, I like the heavy rod just as well as probably better than the medium heavy one. The truth about it. I don't care for a medium rod or medium light, where they're called. I like I like all my rods to match. I like them all to be the same strength, the same reel. That way, when I get a takedown, I know what kind of fish I got.
That's a great point, Jody. You know who said that recently? I don't remember if I was talking with them or I heard it on another show, or I don't remember where, but Ray Ferguson was saying that same thing.
Did he?
And talking about world champion
Hmm.
catfish angler,
Yeah.
likes to have every rod the same, every reel the same. This way, no matter what one he gets to,
Yeah.
it's set. It's got the same line. It's got the same action. It's got the same reel. It's got
Yeah. A lot of people
now.
would tie their leader lengths different. I don't, because I know how many inches a crank is on this, and I know how many cranks to turn it to get it off the bottom. How
Oh, there
high I
you.
want it in that water column. So I keep all my stuff the same. And
That's a
when I
great.
have a takedown, I can tell. Sometimes I don't get to the rod quickly because I know it's a 5 pound fish. But if I see that sucker go down, I break my neck back there to get it because I know what the fish is going to be.
That's an awesome point, Jody. Great
Yeah.
point.
James
Uh,
is on me for, like, you going to get that fish? I'm like, in a minute.
yeah, I know. It's that's a 18 pounder. I'll get it. I'll get it.
Yeah. He was
Uh,
dead winter. You know how hard of a bite it is sometimes of a winter.
oh,
And we had skunked all night, and I was eating a little Debbie Christmas tree cake, and I had a little fish hit. And he's like, "Get that, go grill that fish." And I'm like, I looked at my cake, and I'm like, when I finished this cake, it's my last one. I'm gonna throw it down, and I, I lost the fish. He wasn't happy. He said, "I can't believe you pulled a skunk over a little Debbie cake."
hey, I'd be with you, Jody. I'll get that in a second. I'm finishing this. I agree with you. I think you got to have priorities, and at that point, the Debbie cake was the top priority. I agree. And that question that who was it that asked about the different rods? I think it was G Style, right? The
Hmm.
different.
And there is a Mad Cat code. I don't know. It's for the league though. Stan might know it.
Blah, blah, blah. Son of a gun is from the Live Fishing Tournament League. That's the one that I
Yeah.
know. It's F. I think it's the LFTL 10 and a Live Fishing Tournament League 10,
Hmm.
and that'll save you money at Mad Cats. If anybody's in chat that has a Mad Cats code,
Hmm.
feel free to drop that in there. What was I going to say? Oh, if what somebody asked a question about the different with the rods from medium heavy to heavy to medium. The
Hmm.
biggest difference with that is you look at the lure weight, what it'll cast, and in my opinion, the sturgeon, the 200 pound
Hmm.
sturgeon was on a medium action rod because we were just bumping, we weren't using heavy weights. A lot of that has more to do with the size of the weights and the baits and the current that you're
Hmm.
in, not necessarily the fish that you're catching. So, most of the fishing Jody does, she's done a lot of anchor fishing and a lot of that type. So she's casting out probably what 8 ounce. What sinkers do you use a lot? Eight
I
ounce.
run 8 ounce. I don't like. I'll go up to 10. I don't like 12. I feel like I got a fish on when I got 12 ounces.
Yep. So there you go. So a medium action rod, a medium, even a catfish rod, like a Mad Cats or whatever,
Hmm.
they might be rated up to 10 ounces, maybe. But to cast that, and then you're using. I know Jody uses big baits, like a lot of us do when we're fishing those type of waters. So that's the biggest thing that the medium action, heavy action, etc. If you're fishing a lake where you're using like a 2 ounce sinker and even a good chunk of bait, you can use a medium action Mad Cat or whatever because
Mhm.
you're not casting as much. You don't need as much of that because there's no current. It's just you and the fish. There's not really a lot of other. But you're fishing rivers with heavy current, heavy baits, heavy sinkers. 8 to 12 ounce sinkers to begin with. Well, then you need that medium heavy, just for the casting, just for dealing with the current, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah. I know when I first started, I had my Walmart rods,
yeah,
Shakespeare and Zebco's, and
amen, Jody.
but I broke most of those casting with weights and heavy bait.
There you go.
I
There you
snapped the
go.
end off most of them casting, and
Uh,
that's when I started replacing them.
Stan 3 said, "Yeah, It's definitely too soon, son. Definitely too soon." Said I went fishing with Dustin and he caught it. Catfish Cowboy 1 pound Dustin. He got his PB. I only brought the one rod with me. It was one of the OG FOA rods. I think it was a 6 foot one. But I had a loose speed cast on there because it had. I like suspend fishing. I like to have, a lot of times I won't get up and I'll have the one rod right by, and I just like the reel because it's sort of like the same thing as the Pisky Fun 40 or 50. It's got the thumb button, the thumb release, and et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Well, long story short, I ended up donating a rod to the James River and it had that reel on it. And Stan 3 hates, hates, hates that reel. So he said, I'm glad my dad finally got rid of that crappy reel he had. It was my favorite reel. Oh, he
Yeah.
says, oh, was it too soon? Yeah, thanks, son. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that.
My least favorite reel is one I won in the Mad Cats, the Abu Garcia 100th anniversary. I don't like it one bit. And James has got it on a rod, and he put a bigger handle on it to try to make it crank better. It's just really hard for me to get a fish in on it. I like a power reel. I like a bigger reel because I like to horse them in. I don't like the finessing or playing around with them. When when I get a fish,
So
I
that's
want it
your
in the boat. But a lot of gens enjoy the fight. It is a fight. I have a hard enough fight getting it in with the bigger reels, but you know, I don't like a smaller reel or the medium rod.
let's see.
James said he loved the reel. Well, I think we've filled our time
Cool
slot.
Cat
I don't
Fishing
think
says I
Roger's
love
going
it.
live tonight. I think he messaged me and said he wasn't having a show.
Oh, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Stan 3 says, yep, that was the reason I didn't like that one. Yeah, he
Yeah.
hated that reel. He hated it.
Even this one has the Mad Cat reel on it. I like this handle because it fits right there.
Yep, there you go.
It don't hold a lot of line, but it holds what I need. Unless I snag up a couple times, then I have to put more on it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you've got a reel out there, and that's one of the bad things about the Abus is that they're so expensive to begin with. Then they give you that little bitty handle on it,
Yep.
and you got to buy the power handle.
And that's my favorite hook, Minotaur, Executioner.
Oh, there you go.
And I was sponsored with them, but I left them. They've been giving me hooks for a year or so. I like these so well, I bought the last 3 packs I got.
There you go. that looks like a combination kale and circle hook. The way that it's bent, kale is like
Yeah.
that one that's like it's sort of that it's got that deep bend that you see right there.
It
Yeah.
catches big and small fish. It is so sharp. Like I'll pick up my rod and poke my finger because it's so sharp.
Wabash Nate said, "Now I'm sad. Roger has no live tonight."
Somebody ought to go fishing.
That's right. Somebody should go
Yeah.
fishing.
I'm gonna when I close, I'm gonna work on my boat and finish getting it set up, and I might play around with my sonar and try to get it set up better. I got a question. Someone told me you can't cut your sonar on if it wasn't in water. It tore it up. Is that true?
Not that I know of, Jody. I mean, they have a, they have a, what's it called? Like a display setting. That's not the right word for it. I'm sure Roger Stand 3. There's a bunch of people out there. It's like a simulated setting where it will actually show fish on there so you can see what it is, but I've never heard that. Has
Okay.
anybody heard that out there? Like if you're on the bank and you turn on your sonar?
Like you forget to cut it off when you're coming out of the water and stuff. I heard I heard a couple people say that, and I'm like, James said he might go live. Awesome.
Woohoo!
You can look for that. Um, because I really need to spend some time on it, fine tuning it in. It's hard to do that on the water because you're doing too many other things.
Yeah, but it's tough to fine tune it out of the water too. It's because you need, it's part of that is simulation mode. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah,
You are correct, James. Thank you. You get old, the brain, the words are here. It just doesn't go
yeah.
from here to here. So thank you, James. I appreciate that.
Well, I can do my color schemes and
Yeah. Oh, yes,
my,
absolutely, yes.
certain things like that. Get them set up. Yes, it will damage your sonar unless on simulation. So I'll just
Really?
wait. Thank you for that.
Just
There was
disable your. Oh, Stan 3 said just disable your sonar in the settings.
there's
There's
a
a.
video I watched and it showed me how to go in and do all the settings and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like a week later when I went fishing and I forgot how to do it. So I guess I'll watch the video and take notes. That way
There
I
you
can
go.
just, do it from the notes. But I don't have it near what I want it. I can't do what I want to on it because I don't have it set up right. It's a
Yeah.
Lowrance and I'm not used to a Lowrance. I've always had Garmin.
Yep. And my feeling. I know I'm old school with a lot of things. Hush up out there, Stand 3. We don't need any comments. I'm admitting it. I know I'm old school, but the first and foremost, the thing that you need from your fish finder is a consistent depth reading. Uh, that's the one of the key things when you're fishing is the depth. Finding the ledges, finding those bumps, those humps, those pools, the holes. Catfish will definitely use your ledges, all those type of things. They just, and then sunken trees or structure underwater, et cetera, et cetera. But the with me, the last thing that I'm worried about is the mark in the fish. I want to know where the if
Auto.
you know where the depth is and where the changes are and where the ledges are, where the holes are, you're going to be able to find fish. So that's the most
Mhm.
important thing to me. I think after that, marking the bait. Like if you're looking for bait, trying to find bait, bam, it's important for that. And then
That's the next
lastly
thing
is
I
the
want to
marking the
learn.
fish. But
The next thing I want to learn is to be able to mark bait and throw a cast net on top of them. I can't do that. I mean, what I do is I go late of a night and I cut all my lights on and draw them into me. Then I throw my cast net on them. But as far as driving around and marking bait
absolutely.
and be able to throw a cast net and get them, I can't do that. And that's something I want to be able to do.
Yeah,
Most of my bait, like, well, I've out late of the night anyway, but that's how I get it. The lights draw it into the boat. Select shallow water, even if it's 100 foot, still shallow for fishing mode. Okay.
yeah, and that's all part of the. That's all part of. There's to me there's several different fish.
Yeah.
If you ever watch that when you're out at night and you've got those. Yeah.
Do lights work for shad on the James?
Mm-hmm.
And Muskrat said you'd
That's a
always
good
drive
point. Roger's
backwards.
bringing up. You, if you've got your, if you're, oh my gosh, the transducer is at the back of the boat and you're driving forward.
You passed it. It's history.
Yeah, because then you'll see the fish, you'll see the bait before your boat actually gets to it.
Really?
Going forward, you're already over the bait by the
Yeah.
time your sonar picks it up. So
Hmm.
that's a good point, Roger.
Now, there's something
Absolutely, cowboy.
I don't do is like if I drive over a spot and I see fish, I don't back up. I'll drive on through it and then make a circle and come back on it. I just think stopping and throwing it in reverse and everything scares them off. But that's just me. I'll just cruise on by and make a circle and come back on them.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, electronics are only good if you know. Yeah, electronics are only good if you know. That's the key thing right there. That's first and foremost before any electronics.
Yeah.
Um, is to put yourself in the areas that your brain knows from fishing, from experience. Okay, I know there's fish in this
Mm-hmm.
area, and it may be, like y'all above the dam or below the dam or
Mm-hmm.
in shallow, whatever. Then you use, okay, my brain knows, okay, this is the area I need to be in. Then your electronics go from there.
Yeah. See, I
Great,
went a year without a sonar,
great point. Yeah.
but I already knew I had sonar before that, and I knew the area that because I'd spend the weekend on the water in that area. So I knew the area that well. I didn't have to have a sonar. I could still drive to my spots and set up on them and still catch big fish. But I couldn't get new spots because I couldn't find the ledge or the shallows.
Right. Yeah, and where'd it go? Stand three was. There's so many good points out there, Jody, that it's hard to keep up with them all.
Yeah.
Want to select shallow. Muskrat said something to keep in mind. Oh, that's right. That's about driving backwards. Catfish, do the lights work? Stand three if you're in the wrong spot. Depends on what lights. Whoop, it jumped again. Spotlights front and back. Yeah, like if you're sometimes we're coming back in and you're at nighttime and you got the lights out and
Mm-hmm.
the shad are not slow, stupid creatures either. Though even though it's bait fish and forage fish, you could be flying down the river and those shad are keeping right up with you. So
Mm-hmm.
they're fast. They're fast.
Yep. But when you slow down, the big ones start spreading off. They know you're stopping. It's kind of hard when you're by yourself to drive a boat, get your cast net ready, stop and throw.
Absolutely. Jody, I've done it multiple times and I'll do
Mm-hmm.
it again. I give you a whole bunch of credit. I have a lot of respect for what you're able to do out there by yourself. I know I can't do it. The things that you do by yourself out there at night. So a lot of respect for you.
Well, thank you. I just enjoy it. It's a
Absolutely.
challenge.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And you can see how happy you get when you go through all that effort and then you get that fish. You
Hmm.
know, you hear the laughter, you hear the excitement, and that's just awesome.
My first 50 come from Chattanooga, and I had spent weeks on the water, and not in Chattanooga though, but everywhere else trying to get the whole weekend on the water trying to get in a 50. Could not. It took me like a year. And the first night I spent in Chattanooga, I throwed over a 60-foot ledge and went to sleep. When I woke up, there was this big crane on my boat looking at me, and it was it was eating my bait. I guess it thought I was dead. I don't know. Well, I screamed because what do you got this 4-foot bird right in your face, And about that time, I heard my line start peel and drag. And it was on a spinning reel, which I wasn't used to using because I rarely use a spinning reel only for bait. And when I finally got that fish in, I was like, after all this time, after all this work, and it was like just
So,
a deep
so here we
breath.
go. Jody's 50-pound story. Jody had been out there all weekend for hours and hours. She was exhausted. As the fish bites, she had to fight her way past that monster crane to get to the rod. I could go on if
Yeah. The funny part about this is it was the gathering the first one there was, and Daryl was supposed to fish that Friday night with me for my show. Well, I think he fished with Roger instead. So he sent his friend and his wife to fish with me. So we fished my show, and I brought him back to the dock, and he said, "I'll help you load your boat." I'm like, "I'm not going in." He said, "Daryl said for me to help you load your boat. You was going in." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm going out to fish." And he said, "But Daryl said this." I said, "I don't care what Daryl said.
Give a rat's ass.
I'm here to fish, and I'm staying all night, and I'm catching a big fish. I'm not going in." I said, "You just can go on. You don't have to stay out with me." So I went and found me a spot and anchored up. And it was about 6:30 that morning I caught that fish. But I was like,
Nice.
yeah, he's like, I had to go in. And Daryl said, and I said, I don't care what
What
Daryl
the heck? Daryl's not my daddy and he ain't Jesus. So,
said. Yeah.
oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Stand three. That's right. Fresh bait. That's another thing. In my opinion, his opinion, for big
Mhm.
fish, because they can be selective. Fresh bait is important. I think so too. I think that's
Yeah.
a big point
I,
there,
I,
especially here.
you're only as good as your bait. I mean, sometimes you'll have the random fish that hit anything. But if you got good, fresh, bloody bait, that is key to get your scent trail out.
Absolutely. And there's other spots. The Tennessee River, the James River, we're filled. Y'all have skipjack and shad and white
Mhm.
perch and white bass, and there's so many bluegill. Same thing here on the James. We don't have skipjack, but we've got huge. You've seen the gizzard shad. We've got gizzard shad the size of skipjack,
Yeah, I've seen them. They're awesome.
and
I wish I could get that.
so
There is a
both.
few down here like that. I bought some at the
Yep.
bait shop. They's like $8 for one. They're called Mondo size.
Yeah, 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 and those big fish, those 80, 90, 100 pound. That's what they eat.
Hmm.
uh,
My favorite bait is the piece of body section behind the headpiece of the skipjack.
oh, there you go.
That's my favorite piece of bait.
My favorite piece is the head of any bait all the
Yeah.
time. I love the head. That's
You get,
and
I seem like I catch less fish when I have all heads out. But here's a secret. I don't know if you can do
uh-oh.
it.
Is that me or
I
her
heard
that froze
Uncle
up?
Lou tell Eric and
One of
them,
us froze.
he said, "Did you?" Well, he was using a headpiece, and he said, "Did you stomp that headpiece and mash it?" And he said, "No." And ever since I saw that and heard that, I got a hammer and I mashed the headpiece in, and does get hit a lot more because it's releasing that blood out of the gills and all that stuff inside the juices.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why I think the headpiece is you've got eye, you've got the brain. There's so many different
Hmm.
scents, and there's so many different
Yeah.
Plus, the with the
Hey, Dead Sea.
especially with fresh bait, talking with Epic, like a fish, even though it's dead
Brandon.
or cut bait, if it's
Hmm.
fresh, it's still giving off electrical impulses that they will pick up as a live bait
Yeah.
for up to 3 hours after it's dead. So,
Hmm.
but anyways,
I made a
well,
new friend, and he's been teaching me how to cut my bait different and try different ways of presenting the bait. So I
there you,
I'm gonna try some of that this weekend, see if it makes a difference.
yeah, in my opinion, that every technique there's a best cut of bait
Hmm.
for that different technique, and
Yeah.
uh, you
And
know, eh,
every water wants a different bait.
bam, there you
Like
go.
Kingston wants skipjack, but if I go to Chattanooga, it wants bluegill. It's just
Smashing bait is a great technique. There
weird.
you go.
Hmm.
Danny Stone's out there. What's up, the Danny Stone Outdoors?
Hey,
We
Danny.
got Catfish and Dreams. Good to see you, Brandon. Uh, Greg B. Say my favorite piece of bait is the one I catch fish on.
That's right.
Absolutely. I don't care if it's that little tail section. If that's what
Yeah.
caught it, that's right. You got it.
Yeah. We're catching them on pieces like the size of a quarter sometimes.
It's
A
nuts.
bluegill, but the bluegill has a big scent to it, I think. But
Absolutely.
hmm I don't
You
know
know,
how they find that in the water.
it's crazy. Like Jody, I've spent a lot of time talking with Epic, and
Hmm.
I was captain of the math team and blah blah. So I'm into like a lot of that kind of
Hmm.
reading, and it's amazing the small amount, like the catfish, the number one, the uh like when we go to taste food, it's in the mouth, and that's where our sensors are. Their whole body is basically a tongue, a living tongue. They can sense it all from
Oh,
the
okay.
barbels. The barbels are more for like close up. When they get close, that's what they touch it
They're
with.
fillers.
Yes, and they they don't know. Okay, that's a cat. That's a bluegill, or that's a this or a that,
Hmm.
but they break it down the sense into like the amino acids of all the different proteins. So
Hmm.
like they can tell that it's a bluegill, but they don't know it's a bluegill. They just know, okay, I'm getting this much protein out of it. So they can sense what the best food is in that area. Like
Wow.
it's nuts. There's been studies done on it. There's a lot more research, because catfish have just been considered this, garbage fish and
Hmm.
invasive and blah, all this other kind of garbage. Virginia's doing some new studies now, so we'll have some more information with that coming up within the next year. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like if you read into it and you find all these things, that's kind of like the whole Jello and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Jello has protein in it because it's
It's
from
animal
collagen.
bone.
Exactly, Jody. Yes, and so the catfish pick up on that. So it's an extra added protein, extra amino acids, and that kind of
Hmm.
interests them. And there's studies that certain amino acids actually trigger it'll trigger them to like simulate eating, and they actually go. So I think that's one of the things, like with Jello, why Jello, chicken and Jello works, and
Hmm.
uh, there's certain amino acids in chicken that are prevalent also in a lot of other things that are in the water, and I think that's one of the reasons why chicken work. They're just picking up the catfish are picking up that's the protein that's in the water, so they go to it. Like mussels and
Yep.
clams, crepe, and different things like that. So I don't know it, but that's what's great about catfish. You can do as simple or as complex as you
Hmm.
want, and you can just have fun with it or be totally obsessed with it. And
Hey, Captain Morgan. I like
Captain
the plain rigs better. I really don't care for all them rattles and stuff. I got my
Epic,
3-way, a leader, and my hook. And I do
cat.
have some with some spooks on it to get them off the bottom. But I run them half and half. When I used to push the spooks, I would do half my rigs spooks and half not, and I'd let the fish decide which it liked better. And I would keep a tally on Friday night if the spooks got caught more or the without the spooks. Normally, the spooks caught more fish.
I'm trying to catch up with chat, and I'm just
Yeah.
they're awesome people out there. Catch a
Hey,
fish.
Randy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Okay, son. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. He just loves throwing shots at me, and
he
apparently you too,
does.
Jody. I don't know what's up with that. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Epic calls that what does he call them? Christmas tree ornaments, I think is what he was saying with all the other
Hmm.
stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
think
think. Oh, go ahead.
I think a lot of it tangles up. You just got more of a chance of getting a foul hook. Because I fish current a lot. So it's down there twirling sometimes. Like I leave the gut pocket on because that's just a hole for the water to go through and twirl.
And here's a
It's
little
just
tip.
going to rip the guts out anyway. And then it leaves that hole. So I just cut it off.
Here's a tip for anybody out there. You're fishing in current. You can drop your bait in the water and see what it does. Just like let it sit there.
Hmm.
That's what it's going to be doing at the bottom. So if it's you drop it in there and the way you've got it hooked is just going like this and doing all that other stuff, we'll bring it up and hook it a different way. You want it
Hmm.
to kind of try to just kind of because that's think about it. If you
Yeah.
throw something in the water, look at what it does. That's what you want your bait when it's
Hmm.
hooked. That's and sitting there. That's what you want your bait to do. Kind of just it's going to be kind of going back and forth like this. But when it's just doing that, that's just it's such an unnatural thing that a lot of times
Hmm.
that'll scare it away. So
Yep.
that's a great point too, man, Jody. Well, I'm good whenever you are, whenever they am. But chat just keeps having a bunch of good things. It's been a fun show, Jody.
Yeah.
Fishing the heavy rocks yesterday when I hung up with a basic rig, lost the whole thing.
Lost
With
the
the
weight.
spook, I lost the weight. Yeah, and that's one of the things. Like I know Jody, you were talking about the three-way rig before. Uh, I know Stan Three likes the three-way rig a lot, and a lot of times that if you get hung up, that's right, you lose the weight, but then you keep all the other stuff.
I do find a spook at the dam, I'm less likely to hang up. I guess 'cause it's keeping that hook off the bottom. Um, I've fished with other people that didn't have spooks on and they lost every rig they had. And I'd be right beside them. I
And
just don't like tying them.
luckily, one of the cool things about CatCon is I've been sitting out. You're down there, you're at CatCon after the show, you're hanging out at the hotel, you're
Hmm.
talking, and Casey Helms. That was one of the things he was talking about. The inventor of the Santee Cooper rig, which actually first added the float. That was the whole point of it. Just like you said, Jody, it kept the hook and the stuff off the bottom, and they found out that they were, uh, and I don't know if it keeps even keeps the weight going at a different profile, so it doesn't get
Yeah.
hung up as much. But they found out that when they added that and it was pulling it up off the bottom just a little bit, that they were getting hung up way, way less. So that's kind
Hmm.
of how that whole thing. Stand three said Carolina rig is my favorite rig. Works for drift and dragon and anchor. Most versatile rig. There you go. And the only difference between Carolina, you hear Carolina. There's so many different terms and stuff
Yeah.
out there, like Carolina rig. Uh, and there's basically two different rigs. You got a set sinker rig or a sinker on the bottom rig, and then you got like the high low rig and everything up
Hmm.
above it, or you've got the moving rig where the sinker slides up and down, and then you got the baits behind it. The difference between the Carolina rig and the Santee rig is that a float, a spook, something is added. You got your sinker here, and then your leader and bait is behind that. So the Carolina rig has no weight on it, so it's gonna be somewhere down there. Santee Cooper rig puts a peg float, spook uh, uh, Demon Dragon. I think Demon Dragon is the like name brand of that, but Spooks where it floats it up with rattles. But any of that's all the same kind of effect. But yes, it lifts it up off the bottom, keeps it in the strike zone.
Hmm.
But it's yeah, it's all part of the same rig. That's the only difference.
Something Steve taught me was I wasn't lifting my baits off the bottom enough.
Yep.
Like I was only keeping them like barely like 6 inches off. He wanted me to bring them up 3 and 4 foot, but I don't like the 4 foot. I'm more comfortable in the 2 to 3. But when he had me lifted up into the 3 to 4, I did catch playhead like within just a few minutes.
Yeah. And it's just it's all kind of it's all connected. And if you look at
Hmm.
it, that's stand three too. I'm like it, oh, I want to keep it down, but all fish. Imagine, the big blue, they got that big belly and stuff. It's so hard for them to go
Hmm.
down
Yeah.
to hit a fish, but to go up and hit bait, bam, they can
Yeah.
just, flathead, they got that bottom jaw. So
Hmm.
it's just so, most fish, even catfish, they're, crappie,
Yeah.
bass, all of them, the eyes are up. It's always easier for them to hit up than to go to hit down on, because they've got to adjust their swim bladder and turn like this to go down at the bait. Where to go up, they just use swing their tail and bam, they're at it. So
Hmm.
that's a great point. But I'm with you, Jody. Like I'm like wanting to keep it right down at the bottom, and
Yeah.
stand three is like he'll put it out real down and then whoop, put it up in the
Yep.
thing, and I'm like, wow, but it works. It works. Distance of line out of the water off the bottom. Yeah, yeah. So
Mine needs 2.5 cranks to be where I want it off the bottom after I drop it down. I let the sinker touch and I do 2.5 cranks on my reel. I've already got it pre-measured out according to my leader and everything.
and there you go. And like I said, Muskrat even said it. It was Ray Ferguson that was saying that, and consistency is key,
Hmm.
because there's that. Then you even said it. You were saying it before about letting the fish tell you what they want, and
Hmm.
use different baits, use different depths. And that's one of the things we do a lot is we'll start at like the ledge, and we'll have some up shallow, some on the ledge, and some in the channel. And so, okay, where are the fish? Where are the active? You may mark fish, but what you want to know is where are the feeding? Where are the active fish? And if they're
Hmm.
deep and all the bites are coming off of that in the channel, well, then move over some and have more baits in the channel, and then go from there. And eventually, you want to have all your rods, all your baits in that active area.
Hmm.
But
Now I'm wanting to start dragging. They was talking about dragging. I think I need to lengthen my leader to 3 foot. And they said that the hook I'm using isn't a good hook for a dragon because it snags so much because of the offset. So I guess I need to get a different, just type free rigs with different hooks on it.
yeah, you know,
I
you
already
can
got
talk.
planer boards and dragon weights. I just gotta get my rig set up.
Stand three is great at that. Dan's great at that. Muskrat. Listen to a few people, hear from a few people, and see what are some of the things that works best for them for dragon,
Hmm.
and then see what's going to work best for you.
Certain hook and
Yeah,
it's 3 foot leader length. And where you
yeah,
want the peg float 6 inches from the hook
yeah. Uh,
or
there you
5 foot. Woo!
go. Woo!
Wow.
He set his links out to 100 yards.
Hmm.
Chat is flying with all kinds of good answers, Jody.
Yeah, 4 inches. Okay. I
Yeah.
cut my leaders from my fingertip to my armpit. That's how I run my leaders. That's why I always know what length they are. They may be off 2 or 3 inches, but they're right
Pretty
there about the
close. Pretty
same.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to get eat up with scooters.
Well, then we better end this dang show,
Yep.
Jody.
Thank you for coming up, Stan. I really appreciate it. And
Jody,
thank you everybody who watched and commented and hung out with us. He already gone. But like I said, I appreciate everybody who watched and hung out and commented. And we'll see you next Tuesday. I'll have a guest on, and this Friday is Friday Night Flathead. Starts at 9 o'clock Eastern. Stan show comes on at 8, Cat Chat. And then Stan Day is Sunday, starting at 9 to 12 on his channel, Two Stans Family Fishing, or Two Stans Fishing. And we also have the Monster Hunt this Saturday night. Starts at 6 o'clock to 12. It's on Brian B. Fishing, Palmetto Cats. And I think it's on Stan's channel because I'm on Stan's channel. So Two Stans Fishing. And thank y'all for hanging out. Bye, everybody. Oh, I think James said he might be going live, which is Cool Cats Fishing, if you want to watch some live fishing. Thanks.